What it do? What it do? We back again, like we never left. Obviously, I know y'all heard about the Diddy shit. Them raiding his houses and all type of crazy shit. And they've been fucking with him for a few months. Everybody got a lawsuit. More and more allegations keep coming out. Well, they raided his house day before yesterday. I was gonna get to it sooner, but motherfucker was busy. But I'm here now, like back like cook crack. This video I wanted to react to. Everyone named in the P. Diddy sex abuse lawsuit. The full list of everybody that was in that motherfucker that need to be getting a lawyer. Let's get into it. Hold up.
We're breaking down all the A-list celebrities named in court docs against P. Diddy.
Hold up.
Along with some startling accusations.
First of all, that entire filing was just gasp worthy.
Let me just say this too before the video start. I knew for a while Diddy was a homosexual. I mean, come on. How many signs? Where there's smoke, there's fire. How many signs could there be that this man is a homosexual? There's nothing wrong with him being a homosexual. It's just he's just not coming out with it. You trying to take dudes shopping, 50. You trying to take 50 Cent shopping. Usher talking about Flavor Camp back in the day. And every time everybody talk about it, it's almost like they got this vague, I really don't want to talk about it, but yeah. If you could only imagine, it's like, I could only imagine what the fuck was going on up in there. Then this dude coming out a few months ago talking about Meek Mill and all these other dudes. And oh my goodness gracious. Calling Fab Daddy on Drink Champs. Calling Meek Mill Daddy. You doing your thing, Daddy. You doing your thing. No man has never called me Daddy. And no man never will.
I'm not seeing a scenario where he can escape liability, criminal liability.
He's been known for years as a renowned rapper, producer, and label executive who goes by the names P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, or his legal name, Sean Combs. Whatever name you want to call him, he's no stranger to legal troubles.
Look at Meek Mill. That's crazy.
Both homes in Miami and Los Angeles were raided by Homeland Security. According to former prosecutor Melba Pearson, they're likely looking for some specific evidence.
The feds are doing raids at 3 different homes of P. Diddy, including his homes in California, in Florida, and in New York. And what I think they're looking for are videos. So basically, P. Diddy.
And I was watching Myron on DJ Academics when he was breaking down the stuff. You know, you're a former federal agent and all that. So he's breaking down what's most likely going to happen. He's like, for them to kick down his doors in multiple different locations on 2 different sides of the country, that means the DA and all the leading officers on ahead of the case, they had to contact people in California, in Florida, and they all got to be in sync with each other to run up in all his spots simultaneously. So for them to, this is a big operation. And for them to be doing all this, he even said also, they don't do this unless they have information on you already. And if they've taken you to trial, they pretty much have all the evidence built up. Everything's already set in stone. They got all their proof of everything that they need before they kick in your door. So this is just not some, oh, let's go kick in his door. No.
A habit, allegedly, based on told to us through the filings by Cassie Ventura. They have all said.
And he was saying too that Cassie already talked to the police. Her lawyer came out and said, yeah, they was already cooperating with the police even after Diddy paid her the money. Because people think when you got a non-disclosure agreement, you can't talk to no. That doesn't apply to crimes, to actual crimes. That don't apply to that. That apply to like, oh, you can't tell anybody about our relationship type shit. But if you was raping her, that non-disclosure agreement doesn't hold up in court for that. That has nothing to do with that. So she can talk to the police.
That the habit of liking to video either him abusing other people or forcing other people to abuse each other for his pleasure, and would record all of that. So I think those are some of the things that the feds are looking for. I think they're looking for other types of evidence to corroborate the statements that were made by Little Rod, by Cassie Ventura, and the other people have come forward saying that he did abuse them. So they're looking for corroborating evidence and basically the building blocks to put together.
Diddy's not smart. He should have known from once the Cassie shit hit the streets and he settled that case within 24 hours. He should have known the floodgates was open, because that's what it was. If she said, oh, and they went to court, he fought that shit, and then whatever the case may be, everything probably would have kind of eased up and went away. But the fact that he paid off in 24 hours, oh, other people like, oh, it's lit. Open season on Diddy.
What will end up being a massive, massive, massive criminal case.
So far, Diddy hasn't been arrested, but he has already faced his fair share of legal issues. Last year, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura...
He's supposed to have fucking jump on a plane and go down to fucking wherever Russell Simmons at doing yoga. That's what he need to be. He playing. You think I was staying up here? I was gone.
Sex trafficking and sexual slavery. She alleged that Diddy raped her and beat her so severely that she was bruised. Cassie also alleged...
The crazy part, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. Like, when you're looking at Cassie, you would never think she was getting into all that stuff. Dudes running trains on her. Whether it's her willingly or against her will or whatever, that we not talking about. We talking about in general. That she was doing all that stuff behind closed doors. She looks so pure and innocent.
Diddy
oh
made
my
her
God.
Have sex with prostitutes and recorded it on video. She also says he forced her to carry a gun. Cassie sued him under New York's Adult Survivors Act, and
even some of these
Diddy
haircuts, like the boy half.
One day after the suit was
Cassie
filed.
made that hairstyle popular. I swear, no, I never seen no other. Obviously, it existed before, but mainstream, no.
Drugging and sexually assaulting
every bitch started cutting off half their head.
When she was a college student at Syracuse University. Diddy was slammed with yet another lawsuit last month, this time brought on by music producer Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod. The 73-page lawsuit lays out dozens of allegations against Diddy, including that he forced Lil Rod to hire prostitutes and have sex with them. The court doc also claims Diddy...
Okay, how was Diddy forcing these men to do these things? Cassie, okay, I understand. Women, you know, it's a different thing, but you getting a girl. These niggas wanted to do that. Diddy didn't force you to suck no dick. Dicks is what you wanted to suck. Come on, stop playing these games.
Lil Rod, but that's not the
Diddy,
only bombshell
he talked me into it. Like, bro,
document.
that's something you've been dreaming about penises. Don't make it seem like I just woke up one day and I was just it was Diddy's fault. Like, stop.
Other celebrities, he says, assaulted him.
I don't know that Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to escape from that one.
Let's start with the allegations against Academy Award-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Lil Rod alleges Diddy...
Cuba Gooding Jr. Every time I hear something about him, I'll be so sad. I was a big fan of him. He's so talented as an actor, bro. Like, one of my favorite movies till this day is Men of Honor. If you haven't seen it, check that shit out. It's a good-ass movie, bro. Him and Robert De Niro. Good goddamn movie. Radio, Jerry Maguire. The motherfucker got another movie. He got some, I would call it low budget, straight to DVD. He got a couple of those movies, too, that was good. Career just fell off the map. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Diddy was, quote, grooming him to pass him off to his friends. This fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. when they were on Mr. Combs' yacht. There's actually photos of their interaction together too, which are laid out in those court documents. In the first pic, you see Diddy and Cuba talking with Diddy's arms on Cuba's. In the next pic, Cuba has his arm around Lil Rod and is smirking.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What the fuck is happening? Why you look? Get your hands off me, homie. You trip. Yo, he tripping. You trip. Look at that. Look how you looking at him. Ready to eat him like a sandwich. Like,
fondling Mr. Jones's legs,
like a Big
inner
Mac.
thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away.
The fact that it reached to all that groin touching and all this body caressing before you said, okay, I think I've had enough, something's wrong with you.
The last couple of years others, there were allegations.
The minute he touched me,
yeah,
what you do? You good? Big fan. Cuba, what's going on?
Now
Yeah.
we had those
prior
allegations,
you good?
and now
Yeah,
we
bro.
see him tied to this
Boom,
case
boom, boom. Me in the
as
studio fighting. What
allegedly,
the fuck you doing?
Trying to,
Bro.
assault a little lad. Assault.
Cuba, look, every time I see him, especially recently in the last few years, he looked like a creep. He looked like a creep. Oh,
back in
sad.
2019, Cuba was booked on misdemeanor charges of forcible touching and sexual abuse after he allegedly groped a woman in Times Square. By the next year, 3 women had come forward accusing him of non-consensual sexual touching. He eventually reached a deal with prosecutors that
But this is my thing, so sometimes it be, oh my God. Especially when there's these wide gaps in between the incidences. 7, 8, 20, 30 years is like 30 years it took you. Oh my God. There gotta be some like statute or limit. Come on. Somebody did something foul to you. You would think you would want them to be in jail or to get prosecuted or something so they can't do it to somebody else. Because 9 times out of 10 they will. No, I'm just gonna keep it under wraps for 59 years and then on my deathbed I'll tell the world. Like, what the I don't understand that. That's just weird to me.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
Don't disrespect Amazon.
Getting the feeling where
don't do that.
Smoke, there's fire, right? Because now we have 2 different instances where you're accused of the same type of behavior.
There've been a few of Cuba. I believe the Cuba shit.
I think
there's some truth to it. How many different women randomly is gonna say you doing some shit and you ain't been doing? Like, come on, you got to be doing something
there. And I don't know that Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to escape from that one because he already saw
the Diddy shit. I think Diddy just a freak. And motherfuckers on the internet talking all, Diddy this and Diddy this. Stop it. Motherfuckers just mad they ain't getting invited to them freak offs. Without all the motherfuckers getting drugged against their will and all the homosexuality stuff going on, unless you into that. But if you're not into that, other than that, them niggas wish they was at them freak offs. Like, what you talking about? Like, stop it. Oh, don't invite me to the freak off. Yeah, sure. It's gonna be a bunch of women there, no gay stuff, and we not drugging nobody. Niggas want to go to the freak off, but they want to act like, come on. Niggas mad. A lot of these motherfuckers mad they wasn't invited. Like, did he never invited me to the freak offs? God damn. He said he was my man. He called me daddy that one time, but he ain't never invite me.
In other circles,
did he go around call these niggas daddy?
Allegations came out. So at this point, I don't think he's going to get away with it a second time.
Is it possible that he could face charges based on these allegations that were brought forward by Lil Rod?
It is possible as well. Again, we've got the statute of limitations issue to deal with. So depending on the time frame of when this happened, is, again, the Adult Survivors Act, which was
also Myron was this saying there's a 5-year statute of limitation on federal crimes unless you've consistently been doing the crime, committing the same crime consistently over the years. Then they could charge you with it as far back as when you first started. Say I was fucking with the Diddy shit. Is an allegation of him doing something in 95. You're like, God damn, 30 years ago. If he's consistently been doing that, they could charge him, put that onto the charge from the 1995 charge onto all these other charges because he's been doing it consistently. He hasn't stopped, even though that was damn near 30 years ago. That's crazy. And they will do that because that's the best way to get you more time.
The time frame is going to be very, very important. What witnesses come forward, because again, this may not be a situation where DNA may be at play. This may be more
obviously
of a situation of, hey, yes, I was there.
Amount of time has passed.
Cuba Gooding Jr., putting his hands on Lil Rod, or I recall certain aspects. So it's going to be a very witness-intensive type of case. And the question is, will the witnesses be willing to come forward?
Lil Rod's lawsuit also publicly named another celebrity linked to Diddy, Jennifer Lopez.
From the standpoint of the names of the celebrities,
Jennifer Lopez ain't been with Diddy since
the fact that Jennifer
2002, 2003.
Back when she was involved in a party to a shooting.
Still look good, boy. God bless her.
When she was dating
Still
Diddy,
fine.
and is now alleged to have brought the gun with her to the scene and gave it to Diddy, and that's how the shooting occurred.
Lil Rod's team brings up J-Lo when establishing Diddy's history, writing his, quote, Rico enterprise has existed for at least 20 years.
J-Lo don't got no
To the
kids?
1999
I don't
nightclub
think she got
shooting
no
in
kids.
NYC, when Mr. Combs required his then-girlfriend
She might have
Jennifer
a kid.
Lopez to transport his illegal firearm into the NYC nightclub. The court docs allege Diddy forced his then-artist Shine to assume responsibility for the shooting of several individuals. All this happened back on December 27,
Oh, she got two
1999,
kids.
when a fight broke
Oh
out
yes,
at a nightclub.
she got kids with that
Diddy,
nigga, that
J-Lo,
dude.
and rapper Shine
That,
were all
what's
there,
his
and
name?
according to former rapper Mark Curry,
Mark Anthony,
Diddy paid
dude.
Shine $1 million to take the fall for the
Yeah.
shooting and serve a 10-year prison sentence. Lil Rod's lawsuit now suggests it was J-Lo who brought the gun. The fact that she's named as somebody who was carrying a weapon, could that be incriminating for Jennifer Lopez?
It can be, but with a huge caveat, right? If I'm not mistaken, that shooting did not result in a death. I know that someone who was harmed, but I don't believe anyone was killed. Because of that,
J-Lo
you have
looking
the
all
statute
fine.
of
They trying to.
limitations
She's
to
in her
deal with,
50s. They trying to
which
get
is
her caught up in
basically
this
a prolonged
bullshit.
amount of a certain amount of time that a prosecutor has to be able to bring charges against someone. And it varies from state to state. But the one thing is consistent is that there is no statute of limitations on murder. So if P. Diddy had actually killed this person, or the person died as a
dude,
result
the
of their
homeboy didn't die.
injuries, now J-Lo could be brought into the mix as a co-defendant because of the fact that the person has passed away.
Yeah, Shine
But
really
if the
went down
person
for that
is
shit.
alive,
Diddy been on his
and
shit for
if they had serious injuries,
years,
whatever the
bro.
case may
You know how
be,
much people is dead or in jail or got caught up in some shit fucking with Diddy and he got away scot-free? But every dog has his day.
would run, and it is highly likely at this juncture that statute of limitations have expired, therefore she does not have any criminal liability. But the reputational damage might be a different story, because now she's
came out no goddamn
branding
reputational
herself
damage.
as something very different than who she was back then. Back then, she was very much Jenny from the block. She was, dating a very
yeah. She back to Ben Affleck. Like, I gotta get out. These hood niggas is tripping.
She's trying to,
She like, these hood dudes gonna get me killed. Got me doing 10 to 15.
And we don't know what that's going to mean for her future in terms of movie.
It don't mean nothing. They might, please.
Like that. So I think for her, it might be more reputational.
J-Lo ain't been to a freak off in 20 years, please.
Than criminal liability.
Pearson says it's possible
Look how good
Jennifer
J-Lo looked back
Lopez
then,
could
too.
file some sort of defamation suit, but it's not likely.
She could, but at the end of the day, when it comes to defamation and those types of cases, truth is an absolute defense. So if he has some sort of receipts to basically prove that, hey,
that she
I
was
was right there, I saw her the same way in
she
the
was
filings.
there.
You saw a number of different screenshots and pictures.
that
he
defamation is
submitted
gonna be hard.
to support the different points that he was making. If he has some pictures to substantiate that she was carrying the gun, it is going to be very hard for her to say in good conscience in a court of law that, this wasn't true, he's made this up, and now as a result,
obviously, but he's not gonna have pictures of her with the gun. Why would he have that type of pictures? Unless he's a motherfucking federal informant and he was just there building the case on these niggas for the past 20 years.
For a jury to come back and say, yeah, he's making all of this up.
But it's not just artists that Lil Rod named either. He specifically mentioned Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, in his court documents. It reads in part, quote, Mr. Combs was known for throwing the best parties. Affiliation with and or sponsorship of Mr. Combs' sex trafficking parties garnered legitimacy and access to political figures, artists, musicians, and international dignitaries like British Royal Prince Harry. Why even name Prince
I thought
Harry?
he was
There's
just
no
freaking
allegations against
off.
him or anything, but why bring him up?
I think it may have been.
But that's what happens though. When you get into freak offs, when you get into enough freak offs, you tend to lose yourself. Because there's only so much freak offs you're gonna get into and be like, yo, this ain't enough. It ain't doing it for me no more. We gotta spice it up.
Credibility to the filing and say that, basically he being Diddy, was using his fame, fortune, and influence to insulate himself. So he was able to legitimize some of the activities he was doing by having these lavish parties, bringing all these A-list celebrities, but somewhere in a back room or somewhere in another wing, horrible things were happening. So the fact that Prince Harry was there does not necessarily mean he was participating in what was happening. And just because
Listen, everybody was there. I think I was the only nigga that didn't get invited, and I wasn't going because I heard what them parties be like. It was like Cat Williams say, you got to tell him no.
you're at a party doesn't mean you know what's happening.
Yeah,
in
right.
every inch of the house. If you think
What?
about
Yep.
it, the parties being thrown in a mansion, there are various.
And when you go back through the archives, through history, there's a lot of people coming out talking about Diddy over the years. Exhibit talking about he went to one of Diddy party. He pulled up dudes over there in the corner kissing each other. He like, the fuck is going on? He's like, I've never been to no party, and that's just happening. And especially a regular party, that's not happening. In certain types of party, that would happen because that's the type of party that this is. But in a regular, you just going to a party, you don't see. I think they was naked, kissing each other, somebody like butt naked over there or something. He like, the fuck, like he's like, yeah, I'm out of here, like I'm not. Hey, yeah, you ended up in one of them parties. Yeah, you trying to party.
Now you had said Prince Andrew, especially as a result of the allegations that came out in connection with the Epstein case.
Yeah,
That
so
they
I ain't
were
trying to
close
party.
and that they traveled together, and there was a person that alleged that he had sexually assaulted her while
God's
she was
child,
underage.
yeah, all right. Yeah, I just peeped that with his
But
nigga.
Prince
Yeah, all
Harry
right.
and the way that it was mentioned seemed to be very.
Prince Harry ain't finna
again,
get
just
caught up
sort
in
of
this
trying
shit.
to bring legitimacy and talk about these were the people that Diddy surrounded himself by to protect himself.
So Prince Harry has no formal accusations against him, but the name association could cause damage to his reputation. Even so, Pearson says it's not likely he files any sort of defamation suit.
It's possible that Prince Harry may be able to preserve his reputation. But again, just in light of everything him and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, have been through, I truly really hope that, he's able to completely distance himself, maybe make a statement, because again, since he is not necessarily under the umbrella of the royal family directly, so in other words, Buckingham Palace would not be releasing a statement on his behalf. It would be him releasing a statement and saying, yes, I went to X party, but no, I never engaged in any inappropriate behavior or other details.
I believe anybody that been to 2 or more of Diddy Freakos parties, you know exactly what's going on. One party is an accident. You could trick anybody to come to one party. You pull up, oh, what's going on? Oh shit, drinks, pills being dropped in drinks, I'm out of here. And then there's pills being dropped in drinks. Okay, kinda like it. Ooh, this party kinda, ooh. And you come to the next party, alright, brother, you knew what the fuck was going on. You pull up to the first party, you see shit looking kinda, you know what I'm saying, strange, and you get up out of there. No harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? But you been the what George Bush said? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You fool me once, you can't fool me again. I was like, what the fuck? Everybody know that saying, bro. That's one of the funniest videos to exist on the internet. He's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You get fooled once, you can't get fooled. I was like, what? No, it's you get fooled. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Nigga said, once you get fooled twice, you can't get fooled again. I was like, this motherfucker from the country.
Mention in the greater context of this filing, he may be okay.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum.
Pearson compares Prince Harry's association with that of President Bill Clinton, who'd been seen with Jeffrey Epstein before his arrest.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Everybody was at the Epstein parties. They trying to make Diddy out to seem like he was that. Diddy was like, Epstein would be the person, the distributor, getting it into America, and Diddy would be like the dude on the corner with a couple pounds. See what I'm saying? He involved. But is he really the distributor? There's levels to this. They trying to make Diddy seem like he was up there, like he was El Chapo. He wasn't. Diddy was the nigga on the corner with a couple packs.
Engaging in activities more that he was present at the
But they trying to give him kingpin time. They gonna give him kingpin time. They not gonna give him the street level dealer time. He gonna get the distributor time. That's what they trying to do to Diddy.
I don't recall seeing a lot of fallout on the part of President Clinton from that association.
Speaking of Epstein, Lil Rod's court docs draw a parallel between Diddy's alleged crimes and
You
Jeffrey
know this is
Epstein's. Epstein
like
died
15
by
years
suicide
ago.
back in 2019 when he faced numerous
Sure
charges.
Sure he did.
Sexual assault over the course of multiple years.
Suicide, sure.
Companion, Elaine Maxwell, was charged and found guilty of sex trafficking in
How long did she
relation to her
get?
time with Epstein. She's currently
can't
serving out
remember.
a lengthy prison sentence. Lil Rod compares Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Cahorum, to Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she ordered sex workers and prostitutes for Mr. Combs and ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB.
And most of the time, too, you know they always try to make women out to be these innocent angels. Most of the time, especially when you're doing stuff like this, women have a big part to play. Because women, it's going to be a lot easier for a woman to approach a woman or approach a girl and talk her into doing something than me approaching her and trying to talk her into doing something like, yo, come to this freak off party. She's like, get your fucking creepy looking ass away. But if a pretty lady comes to her and like, yeah, girl, you got some fun, she gonna feel comfortable. So when you indulge in these type of things, it's always good to have a girl with you to like make people feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Make them lower their guard. That's when you creep in like Diddy in the freak off party. Yeah, there.
Marijuana and mushrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and in his homes in LA, NYC,
Calling
and
niggas
Miami.
daddy.
None of these cases
Yeah, I like it when you scraping and scrambling, daddy. Scraping and scrambling. I remember that. I was like, what? Bro, think about that. He wants you scraping and scrambling. Scrambling?
cases.
Like you on the bed and he fucking you and you running from it. Like, no, did he stop? That's what I'm picturing in my mind. Like, scraping and scrambling. Like,
Without a handler. R. Kelly had a handler. You know, Epstein had a handler. Weinstein had a handler.
they don't be handling them. Every top dog need a general. You need an underboss. You can't do everything. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need a right hand to look like
Everybody has
oversee
those
shit.
Scenarios of those powerful people, powerful men that are abusing other people. They have someone that does their dirty work. And it's usually
The
not
fucking
only
R.
just
Kelly
person,
one,
it's
y'all
several
already.
people who may have different duties. So again, you know, seeing this woman being his handler, being the person to get him drugs, being the person to procure sex workers for him.
Damn, bro, what's her name was so fine, bro. She still looked good, but I thought
covering
Diddy
up.
was. I'm thinking they was gonna have kids and all that stuff because he was been with her for so long. They was together for like 10 years. He never gave her no kids and none of that. That's why she dipped too, because she probably stuck around in the hopes of thinking like, you know what I'm saying, she gonna get something out of it, and she didn't. So that's why she ended up suing him in the end. Like, bro, I ain't get nothing out of this. All these freak offs and drugs and all this trauma I got, and I ain't get nothing.
Or silencing
Because if she had got a baby out of him, at least she'd have been set for life. But she didn't even get that. So she like, they was never married, so she didn't get that.
people that might want
No
to
alimony and none of that.
You know,
So she like, yeah, I gotta get something.
That's not
And I feel where you come from. You gotta give me something. I'm leaving here with something.
Bear the brunt of criminal liability, just like Ghislaine Maxwell did, and basically had to take the entire brunt of the criminal justice system alone because of the fact that Epstein committed suicide and was not able to be held accountable. And
According to Pearson, Diddy and many of his associates will likely face
Never
federal
gave her a
charges,
baby
but
and
it's
nothing.
a
This nigga
total
Diddy,
win.
I mean,
And
he's
what do
smart
you
in
think
terms
the
of like
timetable would look like for all
not
of
fucking
that?
up his
I know
bread
that
at the
there's a
time.
lot of
Because come
evidence
on,
to gather
you've been
over
10
many
years. You ain't
but
at least
it's
give her a
possible
baby.
that
Damn.
federal indictment
Even if
could
you're not
be
trying to get
around the
married,
corner.
you would have
I
kids
would
with somebody been for them
hesitate to
10
say it's around
years.
the corner
Come on, bro.
because with all of the experience I've had with these office approaches cases, they do not move until they have you fully, like they have you
Same
dead
shit
to
Myron
rights,
said.
basically.
Myron said they don't pull up
So
on you
they are
unless
going to take their
they
time,
have
they're
enough
going
shit to
collect all
prosecute
the
you.
evidence, they're going to speak to
Because if they didn't do that, their
witnesses they can, they're gonna
win
follow every single
loss ratio would have been a
every
lot
single
more
lead that
up and
they can
down.
before
But they
go
win
to
so
any
much
type
and
of
it's so high because they don't pull up
continuances. There can be
at
other
your house
things
knocking on
that
your
can
door until
delay the case.
they're
But
about to. They
once
basically
you
don't pull up
file
until
that
you're about to get
charging
prosecuted.
document,
Pretty
the
much.
clock starts ticking.
It ain't no
Like,
case
I
here.
was
They pretty much,
prosecuted
this
in
case is
Ohio
locked
within
in, brother.
5.
You're done. It's
My
100% chance you're finna lose.
anybody that
We
I
got you
was
red-handed killing this person on tape. That's like when they pull up, when they got you red-handed committing the crime yourself. You can't beat that. So when they pull up, you know you're going to jail. Just assume me, I'm going to jail.
And then
Because if they hear, that means they got all the evidence already.
So when is it possible that we would actually see him being arrested or facing any of these indictments? Could it be months down the line?
I feel that it would be months down the line. I would not be surprised if it was before the end of this year. Because again, this is going to be a massive investigation involving at least 3 states, much as we saw in the Epstein case, where he was bringing underage girls to one of his islands in the Caribbean. And there have been some allegations of things happening on planes, things happening on trips. So there may be additional locations that may need to be searched and additional witnesses that may need to be spoken to in order to get a full picture for what charges would be appropriate and what would be the best path forward with this case.
And it's possible Diddy serves a lengthy prison sentence for all this if he were to be convicted.
Funny part, the government don't give a fuck about no human trafficking. That's a multi-billion-dollar, but you think they really care? Most of the shit that they thinking, oh, it's arrested, they don't give a fuck. Everything there's money, once you're not going along with a certain agenda or going along with the program and you start drifting off course, then it's like, all right, time to take you out. But they don't give a fuck about no human trafficking. Like, come on, stop. You think the government really go, we got to put a stop? Like, please. Just like with sicknesses, just with getting sick. You think they really want to cure you from getting sick? Why would they do that? How are they going to keep making money? If you got fucking a disease and you're sick, my goal is to keep getting you to take shit for the rest of your life so I can keep making money off of you. I'm not going to sell you the cure. You're done. You're never going to come back. Now I'm out of business. Come on. So their goal is not to make you sick. Is to make you better. It's to keep you sick and dependent on them. That's how the pharmaceutical companies work. Everybody know that. So when you think, oh my God, the government is just... They don't give a fuck. They're not doing nothing unless it suits their agenda or it benefits them or they could make some type of financial gain off of it. Period.
Dictating criminal court, if this does happen, that P. Diddy is indicted. I know in R. Kelly, we saw quite a large sentence for him. What could P. Diddy be facing if he is convicted of eventual indictments?
Yeah, well, it all depends on what charges are brought and how many counts of each charge is brought, right? Because for each charge is usually one victim or survivor attached to that charge. So if the U.S. Attorney's Office is able to pull together 15 survivors, right, and they're willing to come forward and testify, you may see 15 counts. So the question will be, if he's convicted, will all those counts run concurrently, meaning at the same time, or would they all be consecutive? And if it's consecutive, he could be looking at life plus, right? If they're run concurrently, again, depending on the universe of what is charged, you know, he's going to be looking at a prison sentence if convicted. There's going to be no way around that.
Is there any possibility that he walks away,
depending on what it is,
that everything is dropped and he faces no charges? Or
I would say it's like
not
10 is the minimum. I would say
anything is possible, but I don't.
But very unlikely. I don't see that happening. At least 10 years.
Where, again, for so many
minimum.
He was able to act with impunity and just, you know, with harming so many, young women. But eventually he had to pay the piper. And eventually he ended up with a prison sentence. So that in this juncture, from what's been publicly available, from reading Little Rod's filing, from reading and hearing about the horrible things that Cassie Ventura endured during her nearly a decade relationship with him that started when she was a young woman, I'm not seeing a scenario where he can escape liability, criminal liability. I'm just not seeing it. It's possible, but I'm not seeing it.
In a statement, Diddy's attorney Sean Hawley denies all of Lil Rod's allegations. He writes, quote, his reckless name-dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner
fiction. He's telling fictional stories. This is like Narnia he talking.
Complete lies. Diddy's son Justin Combs is also mentioned in the lawsuit. A statement released from him reads in part, quote, Justin Combs categorically denies these absurd allegations. They are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family. So far, we have not heard a comment from Cuba Gooding Jr., and as of now, P. Diddy has not been.
They didn't even talk about the Meek Mill shit, because Meek Mill was in there too. But as y'all can see, that brother Diddy, it ain't looking too right. He ain't looking too good for this brother. 9 times out of 10, he going to jail. But that's the end of the video. I'll be back to y'all with another one. Like and subscribe. Let's go.